So I was going to say I don't really recommend this, but after I looked at that, I would recommend it because if you want to at least go ahead and do the incentive part, it looks like you could make pretty good money doing that. What's up guys, it's the Cheapster here, back with another video, and today what we're going to be doing is something I've been very nervous about, and that is I'm going to be doing my first day ever of working Postmates. I've been signed up to work for Postmates for like 2 years or something, and I think I have turned the app on once to try to like see what was going on with it, but I've never taken an order. I'm really not sure how they do either in my area of Greenville, South Carolina. As far as I've seen when I've been out working, I really haven't seen many Postmate workers, so I'm assuming they're not very busy here. And for some reason, I think Postmates is more busy on the West Coast and not as much on the East Coast. So I'll just kind of see how it goes today and take you guys through the whole thing. Also, if you guys would like to sign up to work for Postmates yourself, make sure to use my referral link down below in the description to sign up. I'd really appreciate that. Also, if you want to save money on gas, check down there for my Get Upside referral link. I love it. That just helps you save money on gas. It's basically free money. So today is a Thursday. Usually when I do these, I like to take just like a random day, like a Thursday, just to see kind of how it is on a normal day. Because I know like the weekends and stuff, they can be pretty busy for anything, but I really want to see what it's like on just a normal day. I really don't know how long Postmates goes in my area, but I'm going to try to work as late as pretty much possible. So I'm going to start working at 5 p.m. and I'll probably work until 2 a.m. if they allow that, just to kind of see the whole spectrum of how it works throughout the day. All right, it's 5 o'clock, so I'm officially on the clock. I just clicked go online, and I think that's all you have to do. All right, I just got 2 orders really quick back to back. They don't show what the price is. They were far away, so I just rejected them. I'm not really sure what to do about these. All right, a bunch of orders came in right away. One was not too far. Again, it doesn't show the price, so I'm like, I don't really know what's a good order and what's not. This is why I didn't like Postmates in the first place, but it's not too far, so I'll go ahead and do it and just see, I guess, what it's like. I'm so nervous about this. Like, how are you supposed to know if it's a good order to take or not if they don't show the price? Like those ones I rejected, they were far, but it's like, what if they were like 30 bucks or something? I don't even know. All right, got that order picked up. I'm still using my Grubhub bag today because my Postmates bag is just not as good as it. It's a lot nicer to use this bag. There's a lot of traffic on the way here, so it took a while, and this area of parking is really difficult. But I will say so far using the Postmates app, it's very simple. I think it's actually put together pretty well the way it looks, and it was so easy to go through the order and say that you got it and everything. So now I'll just drop this off and see how that goes. All right, well, the pay just came in for that order and it says $3.98. It does say before tip, so I don't know if this is kind of like Uber Eats where it'll like load the tip in an hour, or if they haven't added a tip, which means you probably won't get one. But if it's $4, that is a terrible order. But I just got another order to Moe's Southwest Grill right here, so I'll go do that one. All right, got that order picked up. Everything has been ready so far, so that's good. Also, if you'd like to download the best app for tracking your miles and also keeping up with your taxes, I recommend Hurdler, which I think is the best free app for tracking miles, and I'll have my link down below in the description for downloading that. All right, got that order dropped off and it came in at $4.56. So still not looking good. It says no tip yet. I'm hoping tips will start to come in on these because these are just terrible orders that I would never do. So the map said that it is actually going to start peak pay at 6, which is past 6 now. And the map looks like this, which I'm not really sure what all this means. Like if I need to be in those specific red spots to get it, that's really confusing. I don't know. But I just got another order to Tropical Chicken, which is actually a place called Tropical Grill. I don't know why it's saying that. None of these orders I've seen, because a bunch of them just came in or do not have peak pay. I probably just rejected like 5 orders right after this order was done, but so many of them are like super far and I just don't want to chance that to not even know if I might just make like $4. All right, got that order dropped off. For some reason it's not showing me how much I got paid for that one yet, so I guess I'll wait to see what it says. The drive here was kind of far, but the person lived like right next to it. Like my Google Maps wouldn't even put it in. It just kept saying like, you've arrived. So that was at least good. And then I just got another order to the same place, which is again right here, and it's a super close order to drop it off, so I'll go do that one. Okay, so the money just came in for that one before I left here, and it is $2.69. Terrible. I didn't even know orders could be that low. Really hope that there's tips on top of these because that's just crazy. All right, so got that one dropped off, and that one's showing up as I think $2.92. So again, really terrible, but of course it was really close, just like the other one, so that's what I kind of figured it would be. I do have good news though. The Moe's order that I did earlier came back with a $10 $3 tip. So that ended up being like $14 for that order. So that one was really good. So I'm actually kind of making some money now. It's still really bad, but at least I got that. But I just got another order to this place that is kind of far away, but it seems like it might be a place where you'd get a good tip. I don't really know at this point. I'm just trying to figure stuff out and maybe try to pick things that I'm going to get better tips at. All right, just got that order picked up there. Everything's been ready so far, so that's really good at least. This was kind of a far drive, probably not going to be worth it, but again, I have no idea what's worth it and what's not. But I did find a new place here. This place looks really good, and this person actually ordered buffalo chicken nachos, and they're probably pretty good. I'm just, you know, gonna taste it. I'm just kidding. Don't ever do that. That's really bad and stealing. Yeah, I'll go drop this off now and see what I get paid for this one since it was a little bit longer of a drive. All right, got that order done, and that's showing up as $3.23. I'm just assuming pretty much the base pay is just awful unless there's some type of peak pay, but I have only seen that the one time before 6 o'clock, and I have not seen any peak pay offers since then. But I just got this order for Chick-fil-A, which is down more like where I want to be working. Probably going to be a bad order anyway, but it is an area that probably I could get a better tip. I guess you really got to kind of know which areas tip better now, but of course that's so hit or miss anyway. Also, I've noticed so far I'm not getting any kind of double orders like that tropical grill order. Those were probably both there and both right beside it, but I didn't get both of them at the same time. So with how low paying these orders are, if they just did double orders, that would at least make it somewhat more worth it, but it's just pretty bad right now. But I guess we'll see. Maybe some double orders will come in more later. All right, got that order picked up. Saw something a little crazy there that you don't expect to see at Chick-fil-A. Right as I was pulling up, I saw a guy standing in the drive-thru line yelling at somebody in their car, and I was like, oh, at first I thought he was a worker, and then I was like, oh, he's yelling at that guy, he's actually mad at him, and I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. But then he started throwing his elbow and trying to break the guy's window open, so I was pretty close to being like, God, do we need to call the police here? Is this guy about to like get crazy? Because he was trying to break the window on this guy, but apparently they worked it out, and the guy walked away, and the guy said, my pleasure. I got this order picked up, so I'm gonna go drop this off now. All right, got that order done, and that one actually gave me $5, so we're really moving up here. Still a tiny amount, but much better than getting like $2 or $3. Hopefully a good tip comes in from that, because this is like a good part of town. Actually, for once right now, I'm not getting bombarded with orders. It was just crazy the whole time up until this point. There were just non-stop orders, which is good because that means you can do a lot of orders, but when they're low pay, that doesn't really do much for you. I did just realize that I got a $2.50 tip on that first tropical grill order, which brings the total up to a whopping $5.19. So still a terrible order even with a $2.50 tip. All right, so it definitely died off there at like 7:30. There are still orders coming in, but they're coming in like maybe like every couple minutes or so, and pretty much all of them are just really far away where I don't want to chance having to drive that far for what could be a terrible order. But I did get my first shopping order for Walmart. It's actually got a peak pay with it of $4, but that is so far away, and who knows what's on that order. I could be shopping for a ton of stuff, so I didn't take that. So for right now, I'm just hanging out at home, came back, got some dinner, and I'm just waiting for an order that's at least somewhere close. All right, so two things. One, I just started getting repeat orders that I've already declined that have come in like 3 times, and they keep coming in, which is kind of annoying. It is a little bit nice to have that opportunity if you rejected something and then you're not getting much to be able to accept it, but they just keep coming back. And the other thing is that I just read that tips can appear up to 24 hours after you've done the delivery, so I probably won't know by the end of this video, but I'll have to do some stuff in editing when I go to edit it to say how much I actually made. All right, so I just got an order to a place downtown, so I'm gonna go do that. So I just realized not only is this order one that I have to pay for with the Postmates card, it's one that I have to order and pay for, so that's gonna take forever for them to make it and waste a bunch of time. And I went back to check it to see if it showed me that, and I just missed it when I accepted the order, and it doesn't even show you that. So you can't even know if the orders are gonna be ones that are already placed or if they're ones that you're gonna have to place. Also, it really doesn't say that clearly even after you've accepted it. I really didn't see that until I already got here. So I could have at least placed the order at home, and they could have at least got like 10 minutes of making it. But because it doesn't really show you that very like in your face to let you know that, now I've wasted 10 minutes where they could have been preparing the order. I'm pretty upset about that one. All right, got those orders placed, and luckily they did say it's probably only going to be like 10 minutes, so I'll go ahead and walk over there. All right, it's kind of a little hard to see. It's gotten dark out. Got that order dropped off. Was really hoping for some good money since I had to go through all that, order it, pay for it. I got $5.10 before tip. Still a terrible order that I would not take on any other platform, even when it's not order and pay. But got that done, and then this next order came in for a place that's not too far and back to where I want to be anyway. All right, got that order dropped off, and I'm actually back at my apartment because that order was to my downstairs neighbor. So I just came up here, and now I'll be waiting for more orders. And that order shows that it made $5.06 before tip, which I'm kind of surprised that one was actually so high. It was one that I had to pay with the card, but it wasn't one where I had to order it. So still sitting here, not really getting any orders. I keep getting the same ones over and over. They just keep sending them back to me. But one thing I did want to say is the sounds for Postmates are so annoying. I thought the cowbell for Grubhub was kind of obnoxious. Postmates has this ringing noise like this. And it just keeps going and going the whole time that you're trying to accept the order or reject it. It is so obnoxious. For an app that's put together decently well, I'm really surprised that that's the kind of stuff they went with. All right, so I've been sitting here for a while, not even getting new orders. It just keeps sending me those old ones that are like super far away and terrible. So I just keep declining them. It's really annoying that they keep getting sent. I've probably declined a couple of orders at least like 20 times. That's how many times they've sent them to me. So I'm not sure if that's a sign that the rest of the night's just pretty much going to be nothing, but I'm going to keep trying to work and see what really happens. All right, so it's been a long time since my last order. I'm kind of going insane here because they keep just sending the same orders over and over, and that bell just keeps ringing over and over and over. But I did get to move a bunch of stuff from our apartment to our house. That was at least good that I could get that done, but it was really obnoxious. It kept going off the whole time I was doing that. But I did finally get an order. Finally, that's not super far away. That's close by. It's a McDonald's right by me. So I'm gonna go do that now. Okay. Well, so I went to pick up that order at McDonald's, got there, it looked very dark, and I was like, oh great, it's closed. Luckily, it's right by me, so it wasn't too bad. I just pretty much drove barely a mile to get there. But first off, while I was there was a guy in front of me who was absolutely losing his mind in the drive-thru because they weren't open. He was going nuts, and he was like yelling at the speaker, and I was trying to decide if I should just back up and leave. But the funny thing was the guy actually came over to me, and he was working DoorDash, which I just did my first day with DoorDash a month ago, and I've been working DoorDash at nights a lot. So he came over and was asking me he was really all over the place and just kind of crazy asking me what he should do about this. And it was so funny because I was like, little do you know that like this is what I do on YouTube is I do videos about this stuff to help people. But I showed him exactly what he needed to do to go ahead and get that order canceled. And I was like, you're so lucky because you're with DoorDash right now and you're going to get paid probably like half the money for that. Because I was like, with Postmates, I'm sure I'm probably not going to get paid since the way everything else is set up with it. And I was like, what are they going to pay you? Even if they pay you a little amount, that's pretty much going to be what the full order would have been anyway. So anyway, after I helped him, I went to the app and tried to cancel it, and it said that you have to talk to live support if the store's closed because there was no option for that. So first off, I just tried to call. I figured that would be the easiest thing to do, and that went straight to a busy line where I couldn't get a hold of anybody. So then my only option was to do the live chat, so I went ahead and did that. It said my estimated wait time was 4 minutes. So 10 minutes later, finally somebody talked to me. I explained that the store was closed, and I don't know what happened from there because my app just said the McDonald's order was canceled and the chat box went away. I couldn't find any way to open it back up. There was a thing at the top that said click to get back to the chat, and every time I clicked it, nothing would happen. So I could not get back, and I could hear noises like they were sending me messages, but I could not get back to it. And after looking at the earnings, it said that I had already made like 58 cents for that order based on the time that I had been doing it. But then underneath that, it said canceled minus 58 cents. So I got paid nothing for it, even though it wasn't my fault that it's closed, and I tried to deal with it, and that took about 30 minutes. So now it's about 10:45 and like nothing is coming in on the app anyway after that McDonald's order got canceled. For now, I'm just going to hang out at home and just kind of see what happens. So either the next time you guys see me, it'll be doing another order, or it'll be in my office to talk about how the day went and what my thoughts are on working for Postmates my first day. All right, so I just got inside my house and got another Postmates order. It's the same McDonald's order that I just had, that I just said the store was closed. My mind is blown right now. They sent me the same order that I just wasted my time at, got paid nothing, and they send it back to me. So that means it's getting sent out to other drivers too. That makes me really mad because they don't pay anything for wasting everybody's time, and they're just still wasting their time for no reason when I said the store was closed. Also, a side note, the map is now showing the area that I'm at as a high demand area, and there's nothing coming in except for that one McDonald's order that is closed that you can't even take. So So what in the world is that about? All right, guys, I am back at home. It is a little bit after 1 o'clock. Everything just pretty much slowed down and then stopped coming in altogether. So I'm assuming there's not really many orders at nighttime for Postmates anyway. And really since about like 8 o'clock, nothing really good has come in except for that one McDonald's order, but my McDonald's closed early. So I would assume in my area, it is not good to do Postmates on a Thursday at night, at least past 8. It looks like that was just pretty much bad after that. So let's get into all of it, unpack it a little bit. I really didn't know what to expect from this day. I was very nervous because I thought it would not go very well. Looks like I was pretty right. I will say I was reading some stuff at the end of the night here to see if I could more understand stuff that was going on with the app or the peak pay, which actually they call it blitz pricing on Postmates. And apparently it looks like my area never had the blitz pricing and that's why I never saw it. And the way it was worded sounded like if there is blitz pricing and an order comes in with the blitz pricing, they'll actually tell you what the full value of that order is before you accept it, which I'm kind of like, why don't you do that with every order then? And another thing I read is that it says tips will not be put on the app until a minimum of 24 hours. It even specifically states that you will not see tips until 24 hours past the order. And that makes no sense because I'm seeing tips on the app. So I'm not really sure why it says that, but I'm not really holding out that there's going to be a bunch of tips coming in tomorrow anyway. But if the amount does change, I'll edit that into the video once I find out what the tips were. Also, another really interesting thing that I read was about their incentive bonuses. They're actually really good on the app, but unfortunately I already signed up for Postmates a while ago and I don't even think I got an incentive the first time I signed up anyway. So I really wish I had just now signed up for it and been referred by somebody, because they give you these minimum guarantees that actually could make you good money and make this worth doing, at least through that incentive. So I was going to say I don't really recommend this, but after I looked at that, I would recommend it, because if you want to at least go ahead and do the incentive part, it looks like you could make pretty good money doing that. Every area has a different bonus, but it looks like the way that they do it is you're guaranteed a certain amount. In my area, it looks like you'll be guaranteed about $9 per delivery if you complete 30 or something deliveries. And the kicker to that, because I've seen those before and those are not that big of a deal, but the big thing about that is it actually says tips are not included towards that guarantee. So that means you'll be guaranteed to make like the $9 or whatever it works out to be, plus you'll get all the tips on top of that. So that actually makes it worth doing through that incentive part. So if you guys do want to sign up and see what the incentive is, check down below for my link so you can get the referral from me to check out what the guarantee is in your area. And even though it might not be that good past doing the incentive, at least you can go ahead and do that, because that's probably going to be a pretty good amount of money that you would get in your area just doing that through the incentive. So I really do wish I would have had that so I could have made more money today, but at least this video gives you a true look at what Postmates is like without all the incentives. All right, guys, so let's get to some of the good and the bad with Postmates, and then I'll tell you how much I made and how much I drove for the day. I would say for the most part, the app functionality was pretty good. There were a few bugs here and there with some things that were happening, and there's definitely some stuff that I started to notice that was really annoying about how the app was set up, but it was very simple, but almost a little too simple, I guess. Another good thing is that the orders were always ready every single time I showed up to the restaurants. And another good thing about the app is that the orders come in really quickly, and a positive slash negative is that they can rotate around. So if you've already declined it, it may come back so you could accept it if you change your mind. But there's some more negative about that I'll talk about in a second. And that's it. That's all the good stuff there really is, I'd say. Now getting into the bad stuff. Obviously the pay without all these incentive guarantees is just extremely low. Since I didn't see the blitz pricing, it just was not worth it to take pretty much anything that I took. And that's obviously one of the biggest cons, because you're doing this to make as much money as you can. So if it's not making you much money, that's a really bad thing. Another bad thing with it was that I didn't get paid for that order when the store was closed. Also, the customer service was terrible to deal with, because I called, it went to a busy line, and then the chat took forever, and then the chat disappeared on my app. Another bad thing is that it doesn't show you if it's going to be an order and pay before you accept the offer. And one of the very obvious bad things that makes it probably the worst thing about the app is that they don't show you the pay ahead of time before you accept it. And you can't see the pay the whole way through until the order is done, delivered, and then you finally get to see it. And I thought that that was going to be the worst thing about the app for sure, and it probably is, but there was one thing that was still about as bad as that. And that was the fact that they repeat sending you orders that you've already declined. I got orders, I'm not even kidding you, probably 50 times. They just kept coming back and the thing kept dinging pretty much every single minute. It would go off and show me the same order over and over and over. I'm not kidding you guys. I felt like I was losing my mind listening to that thing. I can still hear that noise in the back of my head. I keep hearing it. That was just so extremely obnoxious, and I don't know why they have it set up to be like that. And they come back way too soon if you've already declined it, and then they come back like a minute later. That is way too soon. So that part about it was so annoying. All right, so the moment everyone's been waiting for, how much money did I actually end up making for the day? There isn't much that's changed so far. I think I did forget to mention that like a $2 tip came in at some point, but most of the orders I did today still don't have any tip. So the amount that I made for today is $48.27, and I drove 49 miles. Now actually the amount I drove to how much I made was not as bad as I thought it could be. By my metrics though, I would say it's still pretty bad to make less than $1 per mile you drive. Usually with something like Grubhub, I usually make about $1 for every 3/4 mile I drive. And really I did pretty much all of those orders from like 5 until 9. So even though I technically tried to work for like 8 hours today, I can tell that pretty much working after 8 or 9 was pretty pointless. So even if we say I worked from like 5 till 9, that's 4 hours, that would still only be $12 an hour, which is not good. Once I subtract my gas cost and count like vehicle depreciation, I pretty much made less than minimum wage today. And also remember that I got a $10 tip from somebody, so that's pretty big and probably doesn't happen that often. So at this point, I would say my view of Postmates is very bad. I think if you first start out and you do those incentive bonuses, you can probably make some good money with it, but after that, it's pretty much pointless to try to work. But of course, this is all coming from my area. I know I've heard from people who make Postmates work. I don't know how they do it. If you're somebody that does Postmates and it works for you, please let me know down in the comments how you do it. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for the video. Don't forget, if you do want to sign up for Postmates, because you can get those guaranteed incentives, to make sure to use my referral link down below in the description. Also check out Get Upside while you're down there to get free cash back on gas, which you're going to need if you're driving this much. And you can check out my referral link for Hurdler, which is a free app for tracking your mileage and also will help you with tracking taxes. Both Get Upside and Hurdler I really love, and I use them every single day. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this video was helpful. Hopefully my pain of working for Postmates today without those incentive bonuses was fun for you guys to watch and hopefully informative. But let me know down in the comments below what your experiences with Postmates is in your area. I'd love to hear different regions and see what's going on with different delivery apps. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, remember to do the cheapest thing you can today. Tap that like button. Also subscribe to the channel if you want to see more stuff like this on delivery driving. And I will see you guys in the future. And remember, stay cheap.
That's cheap. You still haven't subscribed? Oh my god, come on, what are you waiting for?